Yo, haha, Miltnificent.
What is good, YouTube? Your boy Miltnificent coming back with another quick video, man. Today we got the Air Jordan 11 Gamma Blues on the Miltnificent channel for the first time. So your boy is, honestly, I am extremely excited to have this shoe just because of its rich history. I know a lot of people just say, hey, you haven't seen this shoe since 2013. And there were different variations, as you can see right here, where you have the lower patent leather kind of cut from 2013 versus this year's 2025 model. But of course, the Air Jordan logo was kind of facing the opposite way in 2013 versus this year's version. So with that said and done, man, here's the box right here. And I know what some people are thinking, like the whole Air Jordan 11 Gamma Blues. 230 is a steep price point for a lot of people, but understand this before we get in the shoe. Depending on when you're watching this, I'll probably release this earlier, but there should be a restock for the Air Jordan 11 Gamma Blues on Finish Line / JD Sports tomorrow. I want to say 12/17, 10 a.m. Eastern is the reported time for the restock, so look out for that. But with that said and done, man, let's get into this. We got the flip box right here. I think the presentation for this shoe definitely is it's interesting, just because a lot of people were kind of expecting a little bit more, because you have years where you have the shoe itself and there would be certain perks to it when you open up an Air Jordan 11 holiday shoe, and I'll get into that momentarily. So here we go right here. Got the lid style. Oh, I got lid style paper, and honestly, this wax paper is kind of mimicking that whole, you can see right there, that little carbon fiber shank plate towards the bottom. I think that's kind of a little touch to it. But yes, put the box down here. Gamma Blue is all over that thing, and that box is nice, but we want to take a look at the shoe in general. Now, of course, the history with this is Jordan Brand was looking for a non-OG colorway. So, you had your Concords right here. Of course, you had the Brands right here, and of course, you have the Columbias. Now, these three, right, they marked the staple point of Jordan Brand when it originally came out for the Air Jordan 11 series. Of course, Michael Jordan came out of retirement. And of course, you got the other variations. You got the Space Jams, which should be releasing next year for our next year Jordan 11 holiday release. And then, of course, you got the Cool Grays, which released, I want to say 2-3 years ago. But Jordan did wear this, just that it wasn't one of the original colorways. He did wear it when he played for the Washington Wizards the second time he came out of retirement. So, go back, you'll see that history. But the Air Jordan 11 Gammas was a non-OG colorway. Well, actually, yeah, non-OG colorway that Jordan did not wear. And basically, it's kind of interesting, because I know a lot of people like to compare this to the Air Jordan 11 cap and gowns, but you may want to go back a little bit further before that. So when you look at the shoe itself, before I get into that, you got the Gamma Blue hits on the Jordan Man logo. Of course, you got the Jumpman Jordan on the actual tongue, and on the pods, it has that Gamma Blue on there. On the tongue inside, if you haven't seen it, you'll probably see it right here, but there's actually that kind of like that yellow varsity maze on the actual inside of the insert, and I think this is a polyurethane insert. Now, this is the one thing that I was kind of disturbed when I saw. Paper. Remember the days when you got Jordan shoes and you had the infamous, let me see if I can get this out. Remember the plastic insert with the Jordan logo on there? I think for $230 we could have covered that. That's just me. But of course, you got that famous ballistic mesh, and I believe they did change the ballistic mesh material in years past versus like the newer models. So I think this one has like a shinier kind of gloss to it, or at least a touch to it, but it definitely pops out a little bit more. But of course, the whole Gamma Blue series, the varsity, actually the yellow series, I should say, the gold hits. Think of Jordan Brand's, actually Michael Jordan's high school, so the Lanny High School. So remember the Air Jordan 5, the Lannys. So this gold, or I'm going to say yellow hit, kind of mimics what you see here. So it's kind of, sort of in a way, paying homage to Jordan's high school. But the Gamma Blues, they were looking for a color that did not have or feature red, white, and black, the standard whole Jordan concept. Of course, Chicago Bulls was the colorway, and even the Columbias. You wanted something that would kind of stand out. But if you remember this is where we're getting at. The cap and gowns came out, I want to say, I'm guessing 2018, 2019, but it's definitely right here. So it's like a all black Air Jordan 11 minus the whole icy blue outsole. And the thing about this is that even before the cap and gowns, remember there was a Air Jordan 11 that came out that was pretty much all black. And if I'm not mistaken, it wasn't triple black. I believe they labeled it as a sample back in 2010 and 2011. I think it was called the Air Jordan 11 Blackout is what they kind of labeled it. And from the Blackout series, I felt like designers just looked at it and said, you know what, this is nice and fresh. Let's just give it some hits, a little bit of smooth kind of synthetic leather towards the back, and different color. You look at them side by side, there are similarities to the Air Jordan 11 Blackout compared to the Air Jordan 11 Gamma. So the color blocking scheme was there, minus the Gamma blue hits and that whole yellow on the 23, especially on the tongue, and as well on the insert. So from the Blackout series is where they actually got the idea with the whole cap and gown. So, I know a lot of people are looking for the Air Jordan 11 cap and gown, but I hate to say this, but next year we will not be getting it. I think it's going to be, if I'm not mistaken, I thought I saw either Air Jordan 6 or a 5. I got to double check on that, but you'll see it right here. There's a cap and gown series coming out next year. But going back to this, believe it or not, there have been so many different Air Jordan 11s that kind of came out. You had the Jubilees, you got the Gratitudes, which kind of looks sort of like the DMP pack Air Jordan 11. But my favorite one, honestly, in addition to this, I know a lot of people may or may not have this, and you'll probably never see this a lot, was the Air Jordan 11 Adapt. It was the first self-lacing Air Jordan shoe. See, my battery actually is going low. It was the first Air Jordan 11 self-lacing shoe. Has a motor inside, and once you step in it, kind of just ties itself. But one of my favorite in terms of technology. But in terms of a colorway, this one I definitely wanted to have on the Miltnificent channel. It didn't garnish as much as the interest as the Concords. I know a lot of people want to say, during the 2013 release, things were different. We didn't have really like the sneakers app to rely on, but you had, different magazines you could look on, like sneaker magazine catalogs, like East Bay, things of that nature. But I think the release hype for this was definitely more than this. Not to say that this wasn't kind of hyped even back then, but I think people are intrigued on it because it just looks stunning. I mean, it's kind of like the first time you've seen an Air Jordan 11 around 2013 with these color hits, was made it kind of so appealing, at least back then. Comment below. Let me know what you think about the Air Jordan 11 Gamma Blues. First time on the Miltnificent channel. Didn't think I was able to get. I think I hit this on the Nike sneakers app during release day. So, your boy is definitely happy for the holidays. Hopefully you guys, when you get your pair, you'll be happy too. Again, comment below. Let me know what you think, man. Air Jordan 11 Gamma Blues on the Miltnificent channel. Gotta do that on feed, man, because this is definitely a classic, and I'm honored to have this on the Miltnificent channel. Your boy Miltnificent, man. I am out, and you guys stay blessed.